Hello everyone, this is Jessa Wild. Welcome to your last half of September reading. So this will be September 19th through October 3rd for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I'm going to do a 10-card spread for you to get sort of a deep dive into what to be mindful of the next 2 weeks, or the upcoming 2 weeks that we have ahead of us. I will be drawing from the Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sterle for the main spread. If I need any clarifying cards, I will pull from the Light Seers Tarot deck by Chris Ann, and then I'll get a final message from Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle deck. I have cleansed and shuffled these decks, and I have meditated on your readings, so we can go ahead and get right into it and see what we can be mindful of for these next 2 weeks, Sagittarius. Immediately off the bat, I want to look at the foundation of this deck. I don't know why, I just do. And I don't start off like this. Okay, everything is fine. Something may have come to a close. You may be feeling stabbed in the back. Something that you may be just feeling like down and out, like hitting rock bottom, but you're telling yourself, and you are feeling, and there's some truth to this, everything's fine, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be all right. So I have not pulled from the bottom of the deck like this to start, but I did feel really led to do that. I'm gonna put this up here as just the overall card. We'll see what else comes out in your reading that might help us get a bigger picture about that. Thank you so much. So right away we have the Tower. Wow, well there we go. That makes sense. The Tower as your the overall situation. Can I please have another card for the Sagittarius Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Thank you so much. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune, another major arcana, and the Eight of Pentacles. Just to create space, I'm going to sort of layer these. What's the past energy for Sagittarius? I want to take that card. Thank you so much. I'm going to take those cards. Past and the goal. The past energy we have is the Eight of Cups, walking away from something, and your goal is the world, completion. Back to the Ten of Swords, completion, and Two of Pentacles, balancing. Well, sorry about that. That was absolutely me. Holy Spirit, Spirit Guides, high vibrational ancestors, what messages do you have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for these upcoming 2 weeks? Please help me deliver clear and accurate messages. Okay, we have the Devil. And it says on top of that is the Five of Pentacles. A lot of major arcana on this on your spread. How is Sagittarius showing up in this reading for the next 2 weeks? How are they showing up? Thank you. Again, with the major arcana, Death. And what are the external influences surrounding Sagittarius Collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thank you. We have the Queen of Wands. What are Sagittarians' hopes and fears these next 2 weeks? What are hopes and fears? Thank you. The Moon. My goodness. Are we going to get every major arcana? Some big messages coming in for you, Sagittarius. Big messages, big changes. Yeah. Okay. And what's the advice that you have for the Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, please? Thank you so much. I want the bottom of the deck. What is the advice that you have for Sagittarius, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Thank you. We have the King of Wands in reverse, and we have the Page of Cups. I'm going to take this card in reverse. I don't always, but this is interesting. Leo just had the King of Wands, a different position. Very different reading for them, as this is showing up in your advice card. Advice position, rather. Okay, give me a moment just to take all of this in, and we'll get into the finer details. So right away at the foundation, again, we had everything is fine, feeling at rock bottom, possibly stabbed in the back by someone, or feeling like something really did not go as planned. But you're like, I got this, everything is fine, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm good. So either you are seeing what's happening or what has happened, and you are just like trying to dust yourself off and like, you know, pull up your socks a little bit. Or you aren't really allowing yourself to see that something has ended and that it's time to move on. You're just like, no, it's all good. Like, no, I'm fine. And people are like, oh, but you have a sword in your back. Are you sure you're okay? Like, I'm good. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, so is there some denial that's going on here? Let's see. We have the Tower as the heart of the matter, and that is just validating the everything is fine, Ten of Swords card here. Something unexpected happened that has caused something to end, has really shaken things up. And you're feeling like you're at the bottom. And perhaps you feel like you've been at the bottom of this wheel. This is the Wheel of Fortune. And it's like you might be feeling like, I've been waiting down here for a while. Like, does this wheel actually turn? When's my chance to be at the top? Because this is the obstacle. It's like things seem to be moving a lot slower than what you have imagined for yourself. And it's like you're waiting for something. The root cause of all of this is working behind the scenes. I don't know if something that you've been working at has just not panned out for you, or you're not seeing, the obstacle is that you're not seeing anything come of it. It's like, man, I've been working at this thing. I've been like doing the work. I've been trying to build my money and really save and really do what I need to do on my end. So why is everything crumbling around me? Why aren't things turning in my favor yet? You've moved away from something. This is the past position. In the recent past, I'm feeling possibly, it could be a month's time, like maybe a month ago. It doesn't have to be. It could just be, the recent past. You moved away from something that you had actually put a lot of energy into. You put it not just like work, like this Eight of Pentacles, not just that kind of focused energy, but also your emotions, like your time, your your emotional energy. You gave all of yourself to something here. You see how these cups are stacked up? Like you're really building something. And you weren't, that wasn't being given back to you. And so it's like you had to, reassess this, and you made a decision to walk away from whatever wasn't serving you in the past. And you decided to work on something else, to focus your energy on something else. And you're hoping, you just want something new to happen. It's like you're finished with some kind of cycle. You're done with something. Like I said, something's come to a close. And this is the goal. I feel like the goal is to actually see that it's time to start a new chapter. It's time to start something new. If you haven't already started something new. If you're in denial and you're not allowing yourself to really see the big picture, and you're telling everyone and yourself that everything is fine when it's not, it's time to sort of wake up and see what's really happening around you, and to close this chapter and step into a new adventure. You've learned the lessons that you needed to learn from this tower incident happening. And so, just say, thank you for the lessons that I've learned. I'm moving on now. And I need to balance something else. Like I'm juggling something else here. It's time to start fresh and start new. I think for many of you, though, is that you recognize that something has ended, and that you're trying to just have a positive attitude about it, because you may be feeling like, well, what else can I do? I just need to get to work. This is done. I do feel like this is in relationship to work, because of this Eight of Pentacles is showing up. Because this is the root cause here. This is about work. I actually want to pull a card on this. Can I please have oh, sorry, wrong deck. Let me get my clarifying deck here. May I please have, thank you, right away. We have the Judgment. It's time to level up. You're trying to level up. That's why you're working so hard. You're like, okay, something has fallen apart here. Something very unexpected has happened, and I'm waiting. I'm really trying to be patient to see things turning in my favor. And so I'm trying to level up by putting my head down, essentially, and getting to work, so that I can build something for myself. And I have to do this because I walked away from something in the past. I feel like this was a job that you put a lot of energy into. Take it as it resonates. But it could be a relationship, but like I said, take it as it resonates. Or even if this cup, because it is emotions, even if this is indicating a walking away from a relationship because it ended, it's like now you're trying to level up by putting your energy towards working on something new. But with the Wheel of Fortune as the obstacle, I do feel like this is about your career and finance, and you're just not seeing the fruits of your labor yet. And so the goal is to complete that cycle of not having enough. I was just going to say, I don't know why I'm not seeing the Five of Pentacles, and then here it is, right down here. It's time to complete this cycle. The goal is to find balance in your money. I feel typically I would say it's like you're juggling something, and I feel like you're juggling finances. So you're waiting for a new job, or for someone to invest in your work and your ideas, and you're needing to juggle your finances. We have the goal here, which is interesting. Not the goal. This is the goal. This is what you're working towards, which is very interesting. The devil and the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like if you don't choose to close out this strange cycle, because I'm not feeling like the work that you're doing is paying off. That's just what I'm getting. Whatever you put your energy into, because you're still waiting, you're trying to level up and you're doing the best that you can by putting your energy towards something. But it's like you need to close out the cycle, because the wheel is not turning in your favor. This is your obstacle. This is what opposes you. Typically the wheel is a good thing, because it is, telling you, hey, we are turning in your favor. But I'm just not seeing that here. And I feel like it's time to reevaluate what you're working so hard at, because you don't want to see yourself putting so much emotion and time and energy into something only to walk away from it again. It's really time to get a big picture perspective. Learn from your past experiences, right? Take all those swords and say, thank you, swords, for the lessons that you taught me. I'm going to pull them all out of my back and I'm going to get moving on. Really reassess what you are working at. And it's time to juggle. If you've been investing your own money into this work, this new project or work that you're doing, or even if you have some kind of new job, but it's requiring you to use your own personal money, really take a look at that, because you might be called to refrain or to find balance in that. Because like I said, if this closure doesn't happen, if you don't start taking action steps towards this goal of finding balance and completing some kind of cycle, I feel like this is what you want, but you might not know how to get there and do this. Let's see what else we have here. Then it's like this is sort of the outcome. If you're not able to see clearly that this is what the goal is, or this is how to, if you're not able to see clearly how to get to this goal, then what's going to happen is you're going to be bound to this whole cycle that's not serving you again. You're going to feel enslaved to something that you don't love, that you're not happy about. You're going to feel like you have to go back to work that you didn't love. This is a card of Capricorn, so take it as it resonates. And you'll be feeling like you're left out in the cold. This is just a snapshot. This doesn't say that you have to, that you will end up in this position, but it is sort of like this kind of foreboding, kind of ominous, like a big flashing warning sign of you have everything that you need to take yourself out of bondage, to not be enslaved to a person, to a job, to a situation. The 5 of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold, not having enough, lack. But these people, all they have to do is look to their left and see that there's a church right there where they can step inside for sanctuary. You're showing up as death. This is a card of Scorpio. You might have Scorpio in your chart. You may not. What an interesting reading. There's so much happening here, Sagittarius. You are trying to evolve. You're in this process of metamorphosis. I feel like like I feel like this reading is catching you right in kind of the middle of it. I'm like envisioning like a caterpillar in a cocoon, and which is like total mush. It's like just liquid mush inside. Like that's where I feel like we're meeting you at right now. You're in the process of turning something that wasn't working into something that is really beautiful and lovely. And I feel like there's a bit of confusion there. And I feel like, you know, no matter what you're trying, whatever you're trying to put your hand at, whatever, you know, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, you're trying to, you know, step out in this direction, and it feels like it's just not working. Like you're getting a bunch of roadblocks, or things keep like getting torn down. And that's so discouraging, because you want to level up. You want to reinvent yourself. You don't want to be enslaved anymore. You want to you want to be able to balance your budget here. The question here, I feel like the question is how. What do you need to do? It's like, you might have to pull some more cards. Your external influences is the Queen of Wands. Interesting. Very interesting reading. The Queen of Wands is your external influence. So this could be a person that's around you that is in a leadership role, who is very charming, very passionate about what they do, the work that they do, very successful. Someone who knows how to balance career and family. Someone who's very charming, who's a leader, who just has this zest and zeal for life, whose people are magnetized to this person. And they get things done because they have the energy for it. They have the network and the connections for it. With this cat here, I'm just getting a sense of being intuitive. Usually I pick that up with the Queen of Cups, who is a highly intuitive queen. But I'm sensing that here with the Queen of Wands as well. You may, this doesn't have to be a woman. It can also be a man who just has like a caretaker quality as well. If there is a person in your world that you know that is like this, it doesn't even have to be someone that's close to you. It could just be someone that maybe inspires you, that you are, you know, that's kind of, even if it's on the periphery of your world or of your network. You may want to be bold and reach out to them for some mentorship. Otherwise, this is just someone who you're looking up to because they are inspiring you to do the work that you love, or move in a direction. It's like you see this person and you're like, that's how I want to show up in the world. That's the work that I want to do. And it's like either keep them as a beacon of hope for you, or seek them out as a mentor to you. But it's influencing your situation. It's influencing your choices as well, this person. This person's influencing your choices. If you're in a relationship, just evaluate this relationship. Is this a positive? You know, the Queen here is in the upright, so I feel like it would be a positive influence for you, not a negative one. So just keep that in mind. In the hopes and fears, we have the Moon. The Moon card is a card of, it can be a card of fear of the unknown. It's like you're hopeful that you're seeing things clearly, but really the Moon, it's not the sun, right? You can only see things as clearly as you could in the middle of the night. So there are shadows that might be fooling you. You might be seeing a shadow and thinking that it's something that it's not. So there's like this fear of the unknown that's happening. For your advice, we have the Page of Cups and the King of Wands. Page of Cups. This is budding creativity. This is kindness. The Page of Cups is a kind person. I don't know, again, these can be people. I mean, this is coming up as in your advice position, so I feel like these might be archetypes that you may want to look to and embrace. King of Wands is very strange in the reverse position, though. So with the Page of Cups here, showing up as someone that's kind, someone that is vulnerable and willing to learn, making sure that your defenses are down, that you're willing to maybe see things from a different perspective. I'm saying that because there could be news that's coming in for you. So I just want to say, like, be aware of any kind of new information. And that might require that you do a bit of like research yourself. But there could be some information that is right in front of you that you're just not seeing. So, when you're approaching other people and you're approaching your work, make sure that you're coming in with humility and kindness. And yet we have the King of Wands in reverse also as the advice. And I think these two cards are just so opposite of one another. Because the King of Wands in reverse is a tyrannical leader. Someone who's quick-tempered. I think that this is really just saying, avoid this. Avoid showing up as the King of Wands. Sagittarius, avoid being defensive. Avoid feeling like you have to always be right or have to prove yourself in some way. Try to avoid self-righteousness, bossiness, arrogance. Really try to be sensitive to others, because that's who the Page of Cups is. The Page of Cups is very sensitive. It's very humble. And I think that's why they're coming out next to each other here, is to say, do this, embrace this archetype, don't do this. Because this seems like it can be very real for you. You could, when things aren't going your way, you might have a temper. You might push people away that could really be helpful to you. When this process, this metamorphosis, this change that you're going through, when it's going too slow, you might want to lash out at other people, or be very self-righteous about, like, well, I'm working hard and I'm trying to level up and I'm doing this, that, or the other, when really you're called to be kind and humble and vulnerable and willing to learn something new and to gain a new perspective and be sensitive to other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions, ideas. Because this is going to release you from whatever you're enslaved to. But if you keep showing up as this, you're just going to keep getting the same thing. You're just going to keep repeating the same cycle over and over and over and over and over again. I feel like this. Remember earlier I said the question is how? The question is how. I feel like these three cards, I'm going to just pull them up for you. This is your how. And I think this is your how as well. Even though it's in the obstacle, it's like an obstacle that you need to learn, like a lesson that you need to learn, obstacle that you need to overcome is going to help you move past a sort of season in your life. Is going to help move this wheel in your favor by trusting the process, trusting that, yes, you are trying to level up, you're trying to show up as your best self, and it's not always easy, and it's still a process, and everything is happening in divine order and in divine timing. It doesn't always happen in the timing that we want or expect or even feel like we need. The how of leveling up is of being vulnerable, being kind, being sensitive towards others, being open to new ideas and perspectives. And the how is also keeping those people that inspire you, the people that you can learn from, the people that can be mentors to you, keeping them in your network, or reaching out to them, or if it's someone like that's an author, or someone that has a podcast, or someone that you gain a lot of inspiration from, motivation from, encouragement from, continue to seek that out, or ask for help, or pick their brain, whatever that is for you. This is your how. This will help you level up, go to the next level, become the gorgeous version of yourself. So just be very mindful of this archetype here, because you don't want to push away the people that can help you, who want to help you, who do inspire you. Wow, this is your, I went deep. This is your message, Sagittarius. I hope that it resonated with you. I hope that you were able to connect with this message. Let's go ahead and get a final message from the from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. Right away, the Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. Trusting the process, divine timing, it's all coming together. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like, it might feel like this is just never going to happen, whatever this is, but it is. And the reason why you're working at this so hard is because you're being called to level up in your work, and because you're intuitively guided to work on this. And your soul tribe, your angel messenger, are being a support system for you. There's a bunch of stillness here, but that stillness is still supportive of you. Stillness in this card. The wheel is not moving. Stillness in the wheel. It's about having patience in this process, recognizing that it is a process, that it's coming together, and it's only for a season. This is your reading just for 2 weeks, right? And this is just a snapshot in time. You have free will. This is your message, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you feel like this wasn't, for you, it seemed like a very kind of specific message, please do check out your other placements in your natal chart. So Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, to see if those placements you might resonate with those more deeply. I hope that you all have a beautiful and abundant day. I will see you back here hopefully in 2 weeks for the first half of your October reading. All right, be well. Thank you.